Hey, this is a reply video to Kristen's book video. So I don't know, I just thought I'd show some of like the books that have really affected me and shaped me as a person. So here they are. All right, now I just couldn't pick five. I don't know. I've read a ton of books, so I really had to pick 10 that really like just would define me, I guess. So the first one here is "Thus Spoke Zarathustra" by Friedrich Nietzsche. Now, Friedrich Nietzsche was basically completely insane. Okay, this guy is, it's almost pure incomprehensible bullshit. But the thing is that it's almost like a puzzle book. That you read it and you try and figure out what his message is, what he's trying to show you, what he's trying to teach you. And it really invokes a lot of thought, which I love books like that. Just books that invoke deep thinking. So it's right here's number 10 on my favorites. Next would be Kurt Vonnegut's Breakfast of Champions, which again, this book reads like an LSD trip. It is this crazy go nuts. I mean, honestly, most of the stuff is just random stuff he's writing about, but it's really funny, laughs a lot, and it's like throughout here, these little gems of wisdom that he manages to put into this crazy, crazy story. So I personally don't like Kurt Vonnegut as a person. I really don't agree with him politically wise at all. It's a very anti-American book. I'm in the army, very pro-American, but I mean, still, it's a great book. Top number 9 on my list. Okay, next is House of Leaves by Mark Danielewski. And House of Leaves is basically, it's gotta be the weirdest, again, reads like an LSD trip. Probably the weirdest book I've ever read. It's basically a book about a guy who finds a book about a movie, about a house. And the house is like larger on the inside than it is on the outside. And it's basically just, it's a horror story and it's really unnerving. It just kind of, I mean, I didn't even really describe it that much. I mean, it's got all sorts of just crazy page styles and stuff like that. Some of the pages are even blank and stuff. I mean, it's nuts how he wrote this book. So definitely recommend it. Really interesting read, really difficult sometimes. Like you're wondering what the hell's going on, but that's the fun of it, I guess. So that makes it number 7 or 8 on my list. Okay, yeah, here's number 7 now. Dune by Frank Herbert. All right, probably the greatest science fiction story ever written. All right, like imagine basically science fiction meets Lord of the Rings, and you get this. I mean, honestly, in fact, I hate George Lucas. Star Wars, they stole everything from this book. The Force, all that stuff. This book right here. This is the originate. This is where it all comes from. So probably the greatest science fiction book ever read. It's filled with philosophy and stuff, thought-provoking stuff. So definitely recommend this to anyone. Okay, next would be Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. Now, I don't really have this book on me at the moment, but I got his other ones. I read like almost everything this guy's ever written. Invisible Monster. And Chuck Palahniuk's amazing because, I don't know, he's just existentialist breakdown kind of. Really, you can read the book or see the movie. Both are just as good. But, like, again, it's just thought provoking. It makes you realize, like, kind of reevaluate the value of your life. What are we doing here? Just kind of makes you rethink everything you've ever done. So that's why I like it a lot. Next would be Walden by Henry David Thoreau. Now, basically what Walden's about is Walden was this experiment he did where he went out into the woods and basically lived in the woods for 2 years. He built himself a little shack, and basically what he wanted to do is he wanted to survive on as least as possible. It's called simple living, which basically what you do is you eliminate all the clutter in your life, everything that doesn't matter, all the mundane stuff, and you just simplify it. You simplify everything. That way, I mean, he didn't own hardly any property. He built everything he needed. He borrowed a little bit for temporary use, used that. He basically survived on his own, and he had basically all the time in the world to just think about things and discover and learn more than almost any man's ever learned before. He's probably one of the wisest men who's ever lived. And I mean, his writing is still incredibly relevant today. I mean, honestly, especially today when we've got like the internet. I mean, all sorts of stuff. Even in school, have you ever just sat down and looked at like an assignment and asked, why am I doing this? Why this assignment when they're giving me a crossword puzzle for literature class? How does this help me? I mean, it's like you question everything. Why are we doing this? Why do we clutter our lives so much with pointless stuff and meaningless tasks? If we just eliminate all that, we cut all that stuff out, then you'd be amazed how much free time we have to really just enjoy ourselves, to enjoy our thoughts and our friends, and just go out and live life. So that's why this is definitely one of my favorite books of all time. Really teaches you a lot about how to like kind of live that lifestyle or begin that or or to really study it. So that's why I like it. Okay, number four would be Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes, another science fiction book. And what this book's basically about, it's about this man who's mentally retarded, okay, and he works in the bakery, doing all the simple jobs and stuff like that. And he goes in for an experiment where they inject a solution into him or do something to his head where he basically gets perpetually smarter. Like the book's written in like a diary kind of form of like his journals. Like it starts off of him just writing. He can't even really write. He can't. It's all misspelled and stuff like that. And then you just see it. And by halfway through the book, he's writing just these elegant passages and stuff about what's going on in his life. And what I really love about that is it kind of like mirrors like I guess our own learning and stuff like that. Like when you learn new things and just connections are made in your head. Like physics links with chemistry, chemistry links with math. And you link all these things together and you really discover. It's just so amazing how you see him learn and advance and how he really truly discovers the world. That's why I want to be a scientist when I grow up. And the reason is that when people talk about science and math, how it simplifies the world, it takes the beauty out of everything, the mystery. And no, what it does is that it gives you appreciation for how amazing the world truly is. That's why I love science. And I've never seen a book describe it better than this, that eureka moment, that moment of discovery, that epiphany, when the connection is made, when you really discover something and you figure something out truly, like understanding physics or understanding science, and you see him advance, and it's got a very sad ending. It was probably like the saddest book I've ever read. Almost cried in it. Like me, big tough guy, I guess, but I mean, it's like I almost got a tear in my eye. It's amazing. Definitely everyone should read this book. So next is what I'm reading right now, and I've just started it too. I'm not that far as you can see, but it's already become probably one of my favorite books of all time. Of Human Bondage by Somerset Maugham. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I really don't know, but the reason I like this book so much is it's describing my life perfectly as it is right now. It's about a kid who becomes disillusioned with school, disillusioned with the academy, wants to go out, wants to be free. He wants to go out and live his own life. Like I'm 17 right now. I'm about to, I don't know, I'm joining the army. I'm about to be free and stuff like that. And I mean, it's just like he's right at that point, and it's all about also unrequited love, which basically describes every relationship I've ever had. So I don't know, it probably describes my life perfectly right now. So that's why I definitely recommend this at number three. Next is the Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas, and it's kind of like an adventure tale, like Three Musketeers. In fact, Alexander Dumas wrote the Three Musketeers, but it's a book about a man who, in his early 20s, has everything. He's about to marry the girl of his dreams, inherit a wise fortune. He's good in his father's eyes. He's about to inherit a large shipping company from the girl he's about to marry. He's got everything in the world. And these three men conspire to basically destroy his life. And he gets thrown in prison for 14 years. And he manages to escape. And basically the entire book is him getting revenge on these guys. And it's really big, really long. In fact, this is the abridged version. This is only about half the actual size of the novel. It's huge, but it's definitely one of the most amazing stories I've ever read, and it's just I don't know, it's the classic gentleman. Like I always try to be a gentleman personally, like chivalrous and stuff like that. And this to me is like the quintessential book of the gentleman, the Count of Monte Cristo. He describes almost the perfect man of what I think I should possibly be someday or something like that. But amazing story, so I would recommend it to everyone. And finally, the greatest book I've ever read in my life, right? Probably the one that's changed my life more than anything else, The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. Now, I know what you're thinking. Fountainhead, oh my God, it's an incredibly controversial book about a lot of the ideas she has in the irrational selfishness and stuff like that. But really, like, controversy and politics aside, the reason I love this book so much is it really shows, like, no woman other than Ayn Rand has ever seen closer to human greatness, like pure human greatness, what humans are meant to be, that you can achieve greatness in life, that this all isn't all for nothing, that the purpose of your life is your own happiness. Not what I think is happy, but what you think is happy. All right, your own happiness. You have to decide that for yourself. Only you can tell yourself what makes you happy, and you go out and strive that. And basically do whatever you want as long as you don't infringe another person's ability to be happy. Don't steal. Don't basically treat others the way others should be. Treat others the way you want to be treated. So, I mean, anytime I'm feeling down, depressed, or just like I need an energy boost, I'll read a few passages from this book, and pretty long. But I'll read a few passages from this book, and like it just inspires me so much to just go out there and conquer the world, to just go out there to raise an empire, to go achieve something, to make something of myself and do something with my life. So I love it. definitely the greatest book I've ever read. So it's my book list, Kristen. So hope you enjoy it. Hope to maybe make a few other videos, talk with you more. Seems like a pretty cute girl in my opinion. So yeah, that's about it. All right, bye.